Bellingham is a name rocking the world of football. The teenage sensation is the latest in a long line of superstars to wear the white of Real Madrid, and he's taken the Spanish league by storm, scoring 16 goals in his first 21 games. It's clear this wonderkid is special, going from Birmingham to captain of Borussia Dortmund and playing at the Bernabeu all before the age of 20. Here is the story of Madrid's newest galactico. Jude Bellingham was born on the 29th of June 2003 to parents Denise and Mark Bellingham. Jude was born into a football-crazy family. His father Mark was a prolific goal-scorer in non-league football, scoring over 600 goals throughout his career. However, according to his parents, Jude wasn't as football-crazy as them at the start. He would refuse to play with a football and will spend most of his time on the field playing with grass. But at the age of 6, things started to take a turn. Jude became a lot more interested in football, playing with his friends and his younger brother, Job. Jude spent a year playing for a local team called Stourbridge United, where he caught the attention of scouts from Birmingham City. After conversations with Jude's father, Birmingham signed him to join the under-8s team, where he continued to impress. According to Mike Dodds, Jude's mentality separated him from many of his peers. Soon he was moved up to the under-10s team, where he began to develop a real eye for goal, and coaches compared his goal-scoring instincts to that of England legend Frank Lampard. They wanted him to move up even further to the under-11 Premier League, but he initially didn't want to leave his friends in the under-10 age group. But he reluctantly agreed and spent a couple more years in the youth teams. Bellingham's superior physical traits meant he was often too good for his age groups. At the age of 14, he was playing for Birmingham's under-18 team, and just a year later, at age 15, he made his debut for the under-23 squad, reuniting with his former coach Mike Dodds and playing a ridiculous 7 years ahead of his age group. Bellingham impressed the first-team coaches with his work ethic and talent and was part of the first-team training camp in July 2019. He took part and scored goals in 2 pre-season friendlies, which convinced the head coach, John Eustace, he was ready for first-team action. Ahead of the 1920 season, Bellingham was made an official member of the Birmingham first-team squad and was handed the number 22 jersey. On the 6th of August 2019, he made history after taking part in an EFL Cup game for Birmingham against Portsmouth. At just 16 years old and 38 days, this made Jude the youngest ever player in Birmingham's history. Just a few weeks later, he made his home debut in a league game against Stoke City and scored a late goal to win the game for his team. This made him the youngest goal scorer in Birmingham history, aged 16 and 63 days. Jude made his first start in the next game away to Charlton and scored the only goal in a 1-0 win for Birmingham. His name began making headlines all over Europe, and the big club started circling for his signature. Bellingham finished the season with 4 goals in 44 appearances in all competitions. This earned him the EFL Championship Young Player of the Season, as he helped Birmingham narrowly avoid relegation. But in the summer of 2020, it had become clear that Jude's talents had outgrown the club. Less than 50 games into his senior career, lots of Europe's top clubs showed interest in his signature, especially Manchester United, who offered him a lucrative salary and even a tour of their Carrington training complex. But Bellingham instead chose to go to Germany to further his development. According to his dad, their reasons for choosing Dortmund included Dortmund's history of developing young players, such as Sancho and Dembele, and the prospect of first-team opportunities, as Dortmund were light in midfield, while United had a mainstay in Paul Pogba. A £30 million deal was agreed between Birmingham and Dortmund for Jude's move to Germany. As a sign of gratitude for Jude's impact in his short time at the club, Birmingham retired his number 22 jersey as a send-off for one of the most unique talents the club has ever produced. After a good pre-season, on the 14th of September 2020, Bellingham made his debut for Dortmund against MSV Duisburg. Bellingham made his debut for Dortmund against MSV Duisburg and became the club's youngest goal scorer of all time at 17 years and 77 days old. 5 years later, he marked his league debut for Dortmund with an assist to Gio Reyna in a 3-0 win over Borussia Mönchengladbach. He won the Rookie of the Month award for September. More records soon followed, as on the 20th of October 2020, in a game against Italian side Lazio, he became the youngest English player to start a UEFA Champions League match at just 17 years and 113 days, breaking the record previously held by Phil Foden. Bellingham was a regular starter in the league and Champions League in his first few months in Germany, making a huge impact as the team pushed for trophies. In the Champions League round of 16, Dortmund were drawn against the English side Manchester City, where Bellingham once again denatured his talent. He assisted a goal for Marco Reus in the first leg and scored a goal of his own in the second leg. This was his first Champions League goal, and his performance across the two games earned him widespread praise, including from Man City coach Pep Guardiola. In between the games against City, he also scored his first Bundesliga goal after a fine finish against VfB Stuttgart. On the 13th of May 2021, Bellingham started in a 3-0 win over RB Leipzig in the DFB Pokal final, earning him the first trophy of his career. Bellingham's debut campaign in Germany was a resounding success, as he ranked 9th for league minutes at Dortmund that season, and racking 4 goals and 4 assists in 46 games in all competitions. Bellingham improved drastically in the following campaign, taking up a leadership role at Dortmund on and off the pitch. He quickly became the beating heart of Dortmund's midfield, alongside Emre Can. However, Dortmund enjoyed little success on the field. They came second in the Bundesliga, finishing 8 points behind reigning champions Bayern Munich. They also had a disappointing Champions League campaign, suffering a group stage exit, and were knocked out in the round of 16 of the DFB Pokal by lower division team St. Pauli. Despite the disappointing campaign, it was a positive season for Bellingham, who recorded 6 goals and 14 assists in all competitions, 12 more than he managed in his debut season. His rapid development wasn't about to slow down. In the 22-23 season, Jude was once again instrumental to Dortmund and became the team's star man following the departure of goal scorer Erling Haaland, and often captained the team. Halfway through the 22-23 season, Bellingham was called up to the England squad for the World Cup in Qatar. He scored England's first goal in their opening game as they beat Iran 6-2. Bellingham started every game for England while being just 19. But despite having a good tournament, it wasn't enough to lead England to silverware, as they crashed out in the semi-finals to France. Following the disappointment of the World Cup, Bellingham returned to Germany on a mission to bring the Bundesliga title to the club, and he recorded a goal and assist in his first game back against Augsburg. But his efforts were once again not enough. Dortmund were beaten in the Champions League by English club Chelsea, and dramatically lost the Bundesliga title on the final day of the season after failing to beat Mainz at home. Jude took no part in the game due to injury and was distraught after the match, which turned out to be his final appearance in the yellow and black of Dortmund. Overall, Bellingham ended the season with 14 goals and 7 assists, as well as winning the Bundesliga Player of the Year award. After 3 years in Germany, it was finally time to move on, and once again, there was a lot of competition for his signature. Despite hefty interest from England in the form of Liverpool and Chelsea, Bellingham chose to sign for Spanish giants Real Madrid. Real Madrid is the most historic club in European football. Their 35 La Liga titles and 13 European Cups are both records that place them at the top of the European pyramid. The driving force behind Madrid's success in the last century has been their ability to attract the game's best players to the club. Di Stefano, Raúl, Zidane, and Cristiano Ronaldo, just to name a few, have been era-defining players in Spain's capital. Kylian Mbappe was expected to be the next in line to bring global star power to the Bernabeu, with Madrid making multiple attempts to sign the Frenchman in the last few years. But after another failed attempt to lure Mbappe to Spain in the summer of 2023, Real Madrid decided to splash the cash on Bellingham instead, and paid €103 million to bring the English midfielder to the Bernabeu. Now there's a new Galactico in town. Bellingham has quickly become the face of Madrid's new project, scoring crucial goals in La Liga, including a brace in El Clasico, in a win over fierce rivals Barcelona. At just the age of 21, Jude is quickly becoming an icon and will no doubt achieve big things in Spain in the coming years. With the European Championship with England on the horizon and Real Madrid strong favourites to win La Liga and Champions League, it might not be long before the Ballon d'Or returns to the Bernabeu. That's it for this video. As always, let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time.